Focus. Oh, sorry. Got my Aldi brand coffee here. Got a nice little recording setup going on. You know, the phone on the little makeshift tripod. It's good morning. Yeah. Sorry, I just lost the focus. That's the topic of the video. Focus. It's what we all strive for. It's what we all want to do when we sit down and get to work. But if that's the case, why is it always so hard for us to focus? That's a really great question. And you know what else is? Have you hit that like button yet for the YouTube algorithm? Because if you haven't, you probably should. Seriously, if you could hit that like button down below and subscribe to help us reach that 400 subscriber mark, which I think by the time this video is up, we'll be close to hitting, if not hitting on that exact day, I'd really appreciate it. You know what really makes you lose focus? When the furnace is louder than any wind in the history of existence, and you have to wait till for that to be over for you to continue recording. That'll make you lose focus. Anyways, I've been thinking a lot about productivity lately, as I always do, but even more with the change in the environment that I've had over the past few weeks. And what I've noticed is that I really haven't had to compromise my productivity for where I'm working, because I switched to working at home and doing things at home that I really hadn't done since the end of high school, and it seemed like nothing had really changed productivity-wise for me. Then I thought to myself, you know, Demetri, it really doesn't matter where you're working most of the time for you. I finally came to the realization that it's because I set myself up for success when I put myself in any sort of situation where I have to work on something and I need to get it done. So that's why I'm making this video, so I can help you guys figure out how to stay completely focused and achieve complete and utter focus when you're trying to get a work session in. First and foremost, make sure that you have a self-centered and selfish mindset when you're getting into that deep work environment. Don't have FOMO. Think only about what you're going to do. Block out some time that you're going to specifically commit to and say, I'm going to work on a task and that's all that I'm going to do. And make sure when you're working on this task that you're not switching around from different thing to different thing. The reason for this is called task switching. And what task switching does is it essentially makes your mind have a sort of 20-minute relapse or reset button. Anytime you switch from one task to another, you can't refocus on the original thing for 20 minutes. So in order to prevent that from happening, that's why this video needs to be made. Because when you have those little small things that come up that distract you and pull you from the main work that you need to do, you can lose immense amount of time when, you know, every 20 minutes you have something pulling at you and you're essentially just losing hours of productivity by switching between different tasks. Moving forward with the idea of you needing to be selfish, let's talk about the fact that you need to do work alone. Find different ways that you can be alone, whether it's from moving your phone or physically moving to an area where there isn't much people, or for me, I'm up and it's 6:10 right now and I don't have to deal with anybody. I got the three-pronged approach here, you know? I got my phone, which is the thing that's recording, can't distract me. I got nobody up, and I have, well, I don't actually need music. Music's gonna be part of the description. Yeah, that doesn't, it's not three. But I highly suggest, in all seriousness, that you put your phone somewhere else, turn off the ringer, and if you wanna listen to music, and that's your excuse for having your phone, there's like $20 Bluetooth headphones out there. So I usually don't recommend buying things because, you know, frugal and stuff. But I really do suggest that you either use your computer or whatever you're working on as a means to listen to music, or you invest in something that has Bluetooth capability so that you can stream your music to your headphones without having your phone by you. Even if the phone is just in your backpack and you're working on it and you can't physically place it far away from you, that's much better than it being either in your pocket where it's easily accessible or on the table in front of you. My suggestions for music, just, you know, baseline, are smooth coffee house jazz and probably lo-fi hip-hop beats. Those are my two favorite things that I use to just get deep work in. It's very important that you kind of avoid lyrics if you're able to, so that you can not get distracted by the words in the song and you can just focus on what you're doing with that chilled beat kind of going in the background. I'm actually going to talk about my favorite music and productivity type of playlist that I listen to in a future video. So going along with the whole music thing, I think getting noise canceling headphones are huge. These are really cheap, as I've talked about before, and this company, Tautronics, makes really cheap products, and I'm gonna actually leave the link to this in the description. They will be affiliate links from Amazon if you're interested. They're really cheap, really quality headphones. I'm debating on and probably going to invest in another pair like that that can handle Bluetooth with my computer. I wanna have headphones with the aptX Bluetooth streaming codec because I don't wanna have lag when I'm video editing or something like that. So rather than dealing with the issues of Bluetooth on this headphones right now, I just have it plugged into my computer. But the great thing about it is when I press noise cancellation on that thing, it drowns out the majority of the sounds I'll hear. And since they're over-ear headphones and they have pretty good volume and they're not gonna, crush my head or anything, but I turn the volume up, easy time to just focus in on what I need to do. I turn on that smooth coffee house jazz and the world outside is drowned out and I just get productive working. So you need to make sure that you also avoid social interaction at all costs. That's why you put your phone in your backpack or far away so that you don't get constantly texted by somebody or something to that nature. And regarding deep work, it's really hard, like I said earlier, to switch back to a task that you're doing if you're getting pulled to something else. And that also includes social interaction. You might be thinking to yourself, Demetri, I can't get people to stop distracting me. That just can't happen. I mean, I'm in an office that's open. I got an open space office. I got this. I got a family. I'm at home now and people won't stop bothering me. It's a common thought in most people's heads that if you just are working on something, you think that they're not going to bother you. And there's no actual communication to show when you're available to be talked to or not. The College Info Geek podcast is one of my favorites. And in that podcast recently, they talked about how using something like LED lights that can change to a certain color on your desk can tell the person you're living with, essentially, I need to get this work done. The co-host with Thomas Frank, blanking on his name right now, my apologies, he essentially put red LEDs on when he needed to get work done. And then I think he had blue regarding yeah, you can come in and say something to me. I'm not doing anything crazy intense right now. So if I get interrupted, I won't be bothered. So he just probably had some LEDs that he can switch the lights to. I have that on my desk actually, and I might utilize that in the future with someone if they, are living with me, and that would make it easier for them to know whether they can interrupt me or not. But that's a really great idea. Other people in office environments use flags or little markers that they tell their coworkers, hey, if this is up on my desk, please don't interrupt me. I'm doing something that's really hard, and if you interrupt me, I'm not only going to be upset, but it's going to actually negatively affect the work that I'm doing. Next, get rid of the distractions on your computer. This means any shortcuts to games, entertainment, social media. If you put that extra friction in place where you have to type it out or you have to search for the actual shortcut to something, I guarantee you're going to be less likely to go in and play that game or go on that social media. So make sure you just get rid of shortcuts in general for anything that's not productivity related. I also recommend signing out of social media on your computer. Sure, I recommend YouTube. I need it for various reasons, but Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you really shouldn't get that urge to scroll through what you're doing. So basically, like I said, the three-prong approach is avoid social interaction so you don't get distracted, get that phone away, and make sure that you put some headphones on, get that deep work in with some nice, smooth coffee house jazz. Be selfish, be productive, be you. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten recently. This channel has been going really well, and you guys have been awesome, and I always appreciate every like, every comment. So if you can go down below and tell me what are the different ways that you stay focused when you work, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to learn anything more about productivity, I have a free ebook called 10 Steps to Saving Time and Doing More. A lot of people have been downloading that recently. That's been awesome. So if you want to check that out, just make sure you check it out in the description box down below. I hope you learned something valuable from this video. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.